Studio Ghibli's naturalistic and magical art style envelops childish imagination in the best way possible. Similarly, Nintendo titles aim to bring a sense of playful whimsy and creativity to the game industry, a beacon of light and fun in a sea of dramatic series. It's no secret Nintendo finds inspiration in Studio Ghibli's classic films, such as Princess Mononoke and its influence on modern Zelda. However, in this video, I strive to discover what the endearing franchise, Pikmin, would look like if it was created by the talent of Studio Ghibli. I'll be referencing scenes from the following Ghibli titles, and reimagining them in the context of a Pikmin animated series. If that sounds like your cup of tea, please sit back, relax, and let's enjoy some comforting Pikmin art together. For the first scene of today's video, I'll be referencing one of Studio Ghibli's most iconic films, Spirited Away. In this movie, the young protagonist, Chihiro Ojino, explores the world of kami, spirits of Japanese Shinto folklore, after her parents are turned into pigs by a witch. She then meets Haku, a young boy who can turn into a dragon. Together, they work to save her parents and return Chihiro to the human world. In the scene I'm referencing, Chihiro stands beside Haku in a nighttime setting surrounded by lush trees and a starry sky. In my version, I chose to depict Pikmin 4's base character model, which I recently learned the fandom named her Palm, stood beside a beautiful creature, the Nectarous Danderfly. As you can see, I gave Palm more realistic proportions, or at least less chibi proportions like in Pikmin. I also decided to draw her without her space helmet since I recently read an awesome Pikmin fan comic created by Brohive on YouTube where Palm is portrayed as invulnerable to PNF 404's toxic oxygen since she's secretly part of the Wraith family. If that sounds interesting to you, I'll have to leave a link in the video description so you can check it out. I tried to maintain Palm's circular face shape and features while also applying some of the common characteristics of Ghibli characters: short hair, large eyes, small mouth, etc. I also decided to make her browless because the original Palm doesn't have any, and I don't know, I just like the mysterious vibe it gives her. As for her large companion, for those of you who've played Pikmin 3, you'll recognize this peaceful creature as a friendly behemoth in the sky. The Nectarous Danderfly, otherwise known as Anisopterid ambrosius, is a harmless enemy that acts as a replacement for the honey wisp. It resembles a large dragonfly-like creature with a segmented body reminiscent of a caterpillar or a honeypot ant, and has the face of a butterfly with its proboscis. I chose to draw a Nectarous Danderfly because of its long and flowy body, which is one of the only creatures in Pikmin that somewhat resembles a dragon. Plus, I just think its design is awesome. For the background, I chose to focus solely on large trees. As I wanted the foreground to be the main subject of the piece, I blurred the scenery a bit. Alright, so here's the first piece all complete. Obviously it's not exactly like the Spirited Away scene, but that was my goal. I wanted to take direct inspiration from Chihiro and Haku, but let Palm and her friend shine in their own way. I hope you enjoyed the way this came out, and don't go anywhere because I still have a couple more drawings to do. And please don't forget to leave a like if you're enjoying this video so far, it really does help out the channel. Alright, on to the next piece. For the next scene, I'll be referencing one of my all-time favorite Studio Ghibli movies, My Neighbor Totoro. In this film, a father and his two daughters move into a small house in the countryside, while their mother is in hospital care. At the new house, the two young girls discover and befriend spirits of the forest, one of which they named Totoro. Pictured in this scene are the younger of the two daughters, Mei, and her spirit friend, Totoro. For my interpretation, I chose to draw my favorite Pikmin duo, the purple and white Pikmin. Obviously, the size difference is a little exaggerated in this drawing, but I wanted to stay true to the Ghibli source material, making the purple Pikmin the Totoro and the white Pikmin Mei. I'm not sure if it's clear or not, but this is my first time ever drawing in an anime style, as in using line art outlines and flat colors and shadows. I found myself struggling a bit to fill in the areas beneath the line art. The program I'm using, Procreate, is a little buggy with its color fill and selection tools, but I tried my best. I think the most challenging aspect of drawing in this style is that there's nowhere to hide mistakes. Your line art has to be clear and defined, as it's what makes the entire subject make sense. In a more painterly style, it's a little bit easier to hide imperfections with a blurry smudge or to cover them with another element. But here, everything's on display. For the background painting, however, I'm in familiar territory. I love to draw lush forest environments, and Studio Ghibli has always been my #1 artistic inspiration when it comes to environmental landscapes. I know I haven't reached the greatness of those artists yet, but every day I strive to get a little bit closer. Here's the finished piece. I'm happy with the overall vibe of this drawing. I hope I did both Pikmin and My Neighbor Totoro justice. I also really do love the size difference too. I don't know, it just makes the duo even cuter in my eyes. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but we still have one more drawing to get to. Let's move on to the third piece. The last scene of today's video comes from none other than the amazing film, The Secret World of Arriety. This film tells the story of Arriety the Borrower, a small Pikmin-sized person who lives in the floorboards of an occupied house. In the movie, a boy named Sho discovers Arriety, and together they form an unlikely friendship. This movie is unique in the sense that maybe, possibly, it was inspired by Pikmin. I mean, come on, Pikmin 1 released in 2001, and this movie released in 2010, both super popular in Japan. I mean, it's not too hard to imagine at least a little bit of the story and direction could have been inspired by Pikmin, which is also why I think if you're a Pikmin fan, this movie is a must-see, as maybe it's the closest we'll ever get to an actual Ghibli adaptation of the franchise. Anywho, the scene I chose to recreate shows Arriety atop a rock in a field of flowers, as Sho looks upon her with curiosity. In my version, I wanted to depict a young Olimar, or even Olimar's son, in an alternate timeline, discovering Pikmin for the first time. And keeping with the original composition, this Olimar would be regular, human-sized, not small, Hagatation-sized. I like this concept because, if I may go off on a fun little hypothetical storyline idea, imagine this young Olimar discovers the tiny Pikmin and somehow gets shrunk down to their size so he can explore their world. Think about it, it could make a good story. Anyways, I digress. I chose to replace the flowers in the foreground from tulips and fluffy marigolds to Chanastoma cordatum, or as we know them as, Pikmin flowers, because it made more sense to me story-wise. This piece was also a lot of fun to create because of the 3 clear focal points: the out-of-focus foreground, the sharp midground, Olimar and the Pikmin, and the pretty and blurry forest background. All in all, I think it came together quite nicely, and I'm super happy with the result. What do you think? Alright, so to recap, in this video we drew Palm and a Nectarous Danderfly in the style of Spirited Away, a purple and white Pikmin in the style of My Neighbor Totoro, and Olimar and a red Pikmin in the style of The Secret World of Arriety. Which piece was your favorite? Should I make this a series? Please let me know, and please don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this one. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. This is my passion, and it feels amazing that people look forward to the things I create. I promise I will try and upload more frequently. These videos just take a while to create, but it's so worth it to interact with you all. And don't forget, if you'd like to pick up a t-shirt from me, my website is paracosmparty.com, and with that, I'll see you all in the next video. beautiful humans. Much love, Paracosm Party.